Hey guys, welcome back to Stuff and Things for your daily dose of nerd news. On today's episode, we're going to take a look at Ontario getting rid of tanning beds for kids. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is coming up at the end of November. It's about a comet. Of course, it's space, but that's what we talk about. And if climate change really never made any sense to you, a new study really breaks it down and makes it really intimate. So first up for today, for some bizarre reason in our society, being all tanned and leathery is somehow attractive. I mean, hey, it's your choice if you want to look like an old sailor, but just saying, it's kind of weird. Of course, we try to teach our kids to do the right thing, but sometimes society isn't always the best influence. You know, the whole sailor look. So that's why Ontario has finally passed a law banning tanning beds for minors, meaning if you're under 18, no tanning for you. So yay, they finally did it, of course. I mean, finally, as in it took 5 years for the bill to go through all the rigmarole of the ridiculousness that is democracy. But hey, it's done. Under 18, you cannot use a tanning bed. They even went so far as to require posters be put up in tanning salons stating all the health risks you take when going into tanning beds. You know, just like cigarettes. Several advocates, including people who have had cancer in the past because they used tanning beds when they were younger, have come out in support of this bill. It's kind of amazing that they've actually gone ahead and done this. Kind of sucks that it can't happen on a federal level. Problem with the kids, they're smart and everything, they just don't have the experience that an adult does. I mean, I never went for the whole tanning thing. I thought it was kind of silly, as you can notice from my skin. Like I mentioned, coming up at the end of November on the 28th, the heavens will grant us a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Hopefully. The comet ISON, fresh from deep space, will be passing way too close to the sun, and it might not even survive the trip. The comet was first spotted on September 21st, 2012 by a bunch of Russians in collaboration with the International Scientific Optical Network. That's where the comet gets its name, ISON. The comet's projected to pass to about 2.7 solar radii from the sun. So, radii, obviously, radius. So it's really freaking close. The great thing about this comet is we have tons of time to observe it, to look for all the possible signs of whether it's actually going to survive or not. Estimates right now put the comet at about 1 to 4 kilometers across, but we don't know enough about it really in regards to its density, what kind of other chemical composition makes up the whole thing, because there's a lot of factors going to whether it's actually going to survive this. That's why they're saying might or might not. We really don't know at this point, but it's kind of exciting because if it does survive, it's passed by, we're going to actually be able to see it with the naked eye straight across. And to finish things off, it's kind of a downer really to talk about any sort of, you know, global warming and stuff, but guys, you know, Earth ain't as cool as it used to be. I mean, there's been thousands of studies and dozens of climate models showing us that the next century is going to be kind of a deciding point. Like, the next century is going to suck because this is the whole transition. This is when we either slow it down, figure out solutions to stop it, maybe? I don't even know if that's an option at this point, but slow it down enough, maybe, for adaptation to take place. But I know a lot of people have trouble even conceptualizing climate change because they hear things like it's only going to change by 5 degrees or even a 1 degree Celsius increase over the average temperature can have catastrophic effects. And you think to yourself, wait, 1 degree, 20 to 21, minus 10 to minus 9, that doesn't seem that bad. Well, a new study out of the University of Hawaii actually looks at this and actually breaks it down to a way that makes a lot of sense. And the study is kind of a meta study. It looks at 39 climate models and takes all of the data from that. And what they did was they actually broke the Earth down into about 1,000 square kilometer sections. They looked at those particular cells and they came up with what they called a climate departure date. Basically, this would be a point where as soon as that date hit, the average temperatures for that cell would be hotter than the hottest days on record, going back to like 1860. So that's a long time. That's a long time. And so what this really allows us to do is you see that, okay, what's that 5 degree, what's that 10 degree difference mean? Well, it means, you know, New York by 2047, the average temperature will be hotter than it's ever been for the last century and a half. And then it gets even worse when you go down things. It looks like Mexico City should be about 2036. I really love this study because it just really puts it into a concept we can understand. Again, when you're dealing with all these data, with all these other things, it's so hard to conceptualize what climate change even really means. Well, it means that in your particular area, you can probably look at the study and it'll come up with everything for you. In your area, by this date, it's just going to be hot all the time. The hottest you could ever remember in the middle of July when the humidity's up and You're just sweating various body parts off. It's gonna be like that, averaged. But there is some good news. There's a little silver lining, is that they also put dates of where we could push it back, where we could actually put some measures and actually extend this out and maybe give us some time to figure out some solutions. Because that's the key thing of the site. It's where we're going at now. It's not any sort of changes we can make. Because, like all these models always say, it's actually not too late to change. We got time, guys. We can do it. We can figure it out. But that's all from us today. What I really love from you guys is, I'm not going to dwell on the depressingness unless you want to. If you want to leave comments on that, feel free. But I really want to ask you, if just simply, have you ever tanned before? Have you ever used tanning beds before? Again, I myself haven't, Mia hasn't. Kind of silly, I think. But hey, let me know in the comments down below what you think about the whole thing. And of course, if you like what you've seen, do not forget to like and subscribe buttons, where I'm going to happen to be. And we'll check you in the next video.